Okay, if you work at a CPA firm, you know this feeling. That end of quarter crunch, the tax season madness, it can feel like pure chaos. But what if it didn't have to be that way? In this explainer, we're going to break down how your firm can turn all that chaos into a calm, predictable, and frankly, much better process. Does this look familiar? The late nights, the constant fire drills, that feeling like you're just buried under a mountain of work? Look, it's a totally universal experience in the accounting world, but I'm here to tell you it really doesn't have to be your reality. And it's no wonder it feels that way, right? We're talking about huge transaction volumes, deadlines that feel impossible, and just so much manual, repetitive work. You're juggling a bunch of different clients, all with their own quirks. And then, of course, there are those last-minute errors you have to fix. It's the perfect storm for stress.
So let's just get right to it. This isn't just about feeling stressed. This is a real business problem, and it has very real costs.
And the consequences? Well, they're exactly what you'd think. Your best people are working longer and longer hours. That leads to fatigue. And what does fatigue lead to? Yep, more errors. The whole cycle just spirals into staff burnout, which hits everything: client service, your best people leaving, and even your firm's reputation. So how do we actually fix this? Well, the answer starts with technology. And I want you to think of AI not as some scary, complex thing, but more like your most reliable, tireless digital assistant, one that's ready to handle all the grunt work. Let's look at what this really means, day to day. First, the AI automates all that repetitive stuff, like classifying and reconciling thousands of transactions. Done. Second, it acts like a watchdog, flagging anything that looks unusual so a human can check it out. It can even predict where bottlenecks are going to pop up later. And finally, it generates drafts of reports and work papers, which gives your team a massive head start. And this is the most important part. AI isn't here to replace your team. It's here to elevate them. It frees up your smart, skilled professionals from that mind-numbing data entry so they can focus on what people do best. Strategic thinking, critical judgment, and actually talking to clients. But listen, AI is only half of the solution. Technology is great, but it needs a human touch to be really effective. And that's where the other piece of the puzzle comes in: strategic offshore teams. And this isn't just about saving money. It's about adding a dedicated human element right into your workflow. So these offshore teams become the hands that execute what the AI has already organized. They're the ones preparing the reconciliations, validating those anomalies the AI flagged, and drafting those preliminary reports. They basically become a seamless extension of your firm, handling all those high-volume tasks with incredible efficiency. Now, I know what you're thinking. A question that always comes up when we talk about sending work offshore is security. Is my client's sensitive data actually safe? It's a totally fair question, and it's a critical one. And the answer is a very confident yes, as long as you work with the right partner, of course. The top-tier firms use fully encrypted systems, secure protocols, and they operate in strict compliance with U.S. standards. Your data security is their #1 priority. Okay, so this brings us to the main event. It's not about choosing AI or an offshore team. It's about combining them. It's AI plus offshore support. When you put them together, you create this incredibly powerful new workflow that can totally transform your firm's operations. Just look at the difference here. On the left, you've got the old way. It's all manual, it's reactive, it's stressful. Managers are hunting for errors, your staff is just bogged down, and everything feels like a last-minute fire drill. But on the right, you have the new way. AI automates, the offshore team investigates the exceptions, and your onshore team gets to focus on high-level review. The whole thing just becomes a smooth, predictable process. What you end up with is a system where everyone has a new, better role. The AI automates all the boring stuff. The offshore team executes the process. And your onshore team, they're finally free to actually lead, to strategize, and to give your clients amazing service. So, what does this all mean for your firm's bottom line? Let's talk about the big payoff, the actual tangible benefits that this new system delivers. The impact on your key metrics is, well, it's dramatic. With multiple layers of validation from both AI and humans, accuracy just shoots way up. With these streamlined workflows, the speed you can deliver work increases a ton. And maybe most importantly for your firm's culture, staff burnout plummets. Let's just break that down a little more. You get way better accuracy, much faster turnaround times, And you keep your best people because they aren't completely overworked. All of that leads directly to happier clients because you're giving them timely, error-free work. And finally, it makes your whole operation scalable. You can actually take on more clients without burning out your existing team. Ultimately, the big takeaway is this: that constant state of emergency during peak season, it's not a given. It's not just the way things are. It is a problem that can be solved. It can absolutely be manageable.
This is the new reality that's totally possible. A workplace where machines handle the repetitive tasks, where your talented people are engaged in strategic, high-value work, and where peak season is just another productive part of the year, not some crisis you have to survive.
So the final question is really for you. Is your firm ready to stop just surviving peak season and actually start mastering it? Ready to trade in all that chaos for control? The tools are out there. The only question is when you're going to decide to use them.